Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm early this morning and I am waiting for anyone to come into the room. Anyone and everyone to join me in the room today. So while I wait, I'm just going to sit here and be patient. I am slowly figuring out how to start live. I was able to jump on the preview and get it going without any problems this morning. And I actually got on here early. So I've got my notes and I'm ready to have a discussion with whoever jumps on the live today. We still have some time, a couple minutes. I'm going to type a message so that when people come into the room, they will hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button when you come into the room. Let's see. Still waiting on anyone to come into the room. It is early this morning, not my usual time to be doing a whole lot online, but I thought I would try something different. So, putting my regular activities on hold for a minute to spend some time with you guys. We're still pretty early, so I'm still waiting patiently. Let's see if we have anyone in the chat this morning. Looks like we are getting some people to come into the chat. I can't see who just joined me just yet, but good morning, welcome, welcome. I started the chat a little bit early this morning to make sure that I was prepared and I could get on here and get things rolling because I am not a pro with live. And this is my first time ever actually being able to open a promo or a preview or whatever it's called and actually get it going. I didn't have to start over from scratch. So I'm happy about that. So welcome. I don't see a name yet. If you want to type something into the chat to let me know who you are, who just joined me. All right. All right. The live is supposed to start in just 1 minute. I am early, but that's okay. 1 minute to go, and then hopefully we will have some discussions this morning. You'll be able to take down a couple of good fermented ingredients to create your own ferments in your own kitchen. So I'm just waiting for someone to join the chat and hit that like button when they come in and get this ball rolling. Next time I won't jump on so early. I know I said 11 o'clock. It is 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. Welcome to the live chat. Welcome. Come on in. Join me. I'm here waiting to talk about fermentation this morning. I know it's early. I know a lot of people are doing all kinds of things this morning, and being online might not be one of the activities. I know it's difficult for me to get on online in the morning because I have lots of activities that I'm doing, especially on a weekend. The start of the weekend, Saturday is busy, busy. I am waiting for someone to jump on the chat. I thought I had some people in the chat, but I don't see anybody typing. I'm here waiting. I can wait. And while we wait, I just want to show you that we're going to be making a fermented ginger this morning. This is an old ginger bug that I made with turbinado sugar. That's why it's so dark. But I'm going to make a new one today. That's why we're here. And I'm going to be using granulated honey, and it won't be this dark. And I have a couple other things that I want to show you this morning, and hopefully you'll be able to make them in your kitchen. You'll have a desire to make them in your kitchen. Still looking at the chat to see if we have anybody in the chat. I probably should have started my chat like right on time, but I wanted to make sure I was able to open up my preview thread and jump in since I'm still very new. This is my third live that I'm hosting. It's still early. I know people are probably, like I said, still doing whatever they're doing in the morning. And the last thing they're thinking about is jumping on the chat. Good morning, Miss Diva. How are you doing this morning? Hello, hello. I'm so glad you could join me this morning. It may just be you and me, girl, because I was a little early this morning. I wanted to make sure I could log on and get everything rolling right this morning since my first live was, I was late because I couldn't figure it out. My second live was impromptu, and this one was planned, and I wanted to make sure it rolled off with a hitch. Good morning, Healthy Living with Wendy. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm so glad you guys could join me this morning. I have a few goodies that I want to share with you all this morning. So let's give it a few more minutes to see if we have anyone else that would like to join us. You know what, Diva? I was up this morning around 6 too. That's kind of normal for me because I actually have to get up and go out to work during the weekday. So I still on Saturday morning, I have a family, I've got dogs, and just because it's Saturday doesn't mean that you get to rest sometimes. So the dogs are like, and you have a dog. Does she sit there and wait for you to get up in the morning like, "Hey, I've been waiting for you"? Because I know mine do. And if I roll over, they looking like, "You up? You up?" So yes, the morning has started early here. I've been watching that clock because I did not want to miss out because I want to share a few things with you guys. In my last impromptu live, oh, I have one Miss Diva that wakes up that has to go potty, and I have one that like to sleep in, and she'll turn over like, no, mom, I'm not getting up. Let her go out. I'll get up in about an hour. So I have one early riser, and I have one that loves to sleep in, which is really strange, but that's her personality. Just like your cats have personalities and your dog has personalities, mine do too. But yes, in my last live, I had, I want to say it was Best Yet Journey asked me about what was fermenting in my kitchen and if I could talk about it. And I briefly touched upon talking about what I had fermenting in the kitchen. And then after that live, I had a comment from Homestead in the Hood, and she asked me if I would show on a live how I ferment my ginger. So that's what I'm doing today. And since it's about 5 after the hour, we're going to jump right on into it. Now, are you ladies actually wanting to make a fermented ginger this morning? Do y'all have y'all ingredients ready sitting next to y'all? Because we here to do like a, serious fermenting process right here. I got all my goodies right here, y'all. I've washed my hands. I sanitized my surface. I don't have the ability to go live by a mobile device. So I have to use my computer in my little office, gym, everything space. So I had to bring everything with me. So this is going to be a little tricky, but I'm going to try to show you what I do. Now, if you watched any of my videos that I am in the kitchen, I don't have many. I don't use a ingredients list or recipe to cook, but I did write some stuff down so that I could give you guys what I'm doing. So let's just jump into it. I don't want to waste anybody's time. I know y'all, it's Saturday morning. We all got stuff to do. So this morning, as a thumbnail said, I'm going to go over fermenting my ginger. But first, before I do that, I want to show you some other stuff that I have that's fermented in the kitchen before I go through making the fermented ginger. So this morning, I brought you guys my kombucha. I started making kombucha almost 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years this coming January. And so I have a lot of scobies. And what I have on my desk right now is actually my Scoby Hotel. And I've already made my GingerBug. I've already made my kombucha, but I'm going to go over how I did that. Now, this is a bag of scobies. If you guys have never seen scobies before, these are scobies. And let's see. I'm gonna see if I can get one out. I took all of these out last night because they had been sitting in there a while, and you have to take some of your old ones out. So there's a little piece hanging there. Take that off. This is what a SCOBY looks like, guys. It feels kind of rubbery, but if you've never seen one live in color, this is a SCOBY. And so I took a bunch of them out of my kombucha container last night because these I'm going to put in the compost bin and put in the garden. So I just wanted to show you guys, every time you make a kombucha, a new SCOBY will form on the top of that kombucha. And the longer you allow the kombucha to sit and create more and more kombucha for you, the more SCOBYs you get. So I have a ton of these. And so this is this is actually my Kombucha Hotel. This is where I keep my kombuchas. And like I said, I took a bunch of them out of here and put them in the plastic bag. Now, how I make kombucha is nothing more than water, sugar, and the tea of your choice. It's like making sweet tea. Have y'all made sweet tea before? I know Diva Jones, she makes sweet tea all the time. But all you do is make a sweet tea. That's all you do. That's the base of your kombucha. You make a sweet tea, you put it in a container, and then you add your SCOBY. And you let it sit for roughly 7 to 9 days. And then after about 9 days, you do a little taste test. And if it tastes kind of fermenty, that's your kombucha. Now, I used to let mine ferment for 14 days. I would let it ferment for 7 to 9 days, and then I would decant it from the container, put it in a jar, any kind of jar, a beverage jar, glass jar. I would add whatever kind of flavoring I wanted. My favorite is ginger and lemon. And then I would pour the raw kombucha in that container with a few teaspoons or tablespoons, depending on how I wanted it to taste, of my flavor, mine, ginger and lemon. And then I would let it sit in the refrigerator until it became extremely carbonated. I'd say another 5 days. So in total, 14 days from creating the kombucha and then letting it carbonate with flavor. But here, over the past probably 5 or so months, I like the taste of just the raw kombucha. And again, it's just make yourself a sweet tea. Good morning, Gardening and Cocktails with Joy. I'm just going over my kombucha because Best Yet Journey asked me what was fermenting in my kitchen, and I wanted to show you guys before we got started with the activity for the morning. And this is my kombucha. If you would like to see me do a video or make a video step by step on how I make kombucha, let me know in the comment section when this video posts, this live post, and I'll definitely make a video so you guys can see a step by step. Now, this container is a 1 gallon container. This was my original container that I got online for my kombucha kit. And it comes with a 1 gallon glass jar. It comes with a SCOBY and the SCOBY juices. I can't think of what it's called right now, like the tea. And then it comes with this thermometer that you put along the side of your glass because your kombucha should stay between 68 and I want to say 80, 89-ish degrees. And so I keep mine wrapped up with a tea towel like so. I wrap it up and I just put it in a nice dark place in the kitchen and let it just ferment on its own. And that is my kombucha. And the top of that jar is nothing more than a coffee filter and some rubber bands just to keep any kind of insects, dust, or dirt, or anything that's flying around in the house to keep them out. Yes, I think it's really cool. And just because you just popped in and you didn't see it, these are a bag of scobies that I took out of my Scoby Hotel. What I just showed you guys was my Scoby Hotel. I actually have a 2 gallon container that looks just like what I just showed you, except it's 2 gallons, and that is brewing my kombucha. This is just where I let my scobies live. So I don't need these. That's why I cleaned it out and I only kept a couple in here. And the ones that I have in the bag are going to go in the garden. But this is where I keep all the extra scobies. If a friend or somebody's asking me, hey, I want to start a kombucha, can I get a little hookup? And I give them the SCOBY and a little bit of the tea that's in there to get them started. And I, write down a little instructions on how to get started. But that is the kombucha that I have fermenting always in the kitchen because I like the taste of it. It's good for your gut health as far as probiotics. Now, the next thing that I want to show you guys that I have fermenting in my kitchen, not all the time, but every once in a blue moon, I have this fermenting. I already made some for myself, so I don't need to have this fermenting for myself right now. But what I have that I'm in the process of making for my sister is, if I can pick this one up, this is apple cider vinegar in the making. And what's in here is apple cores, apple pieces, sugar, and water. And I also had a mother from my already homemade apple cider vinegar that I made about a year ago as well, almost 2 years ago. And I added a little bit of that just to get this kicked off nice and quick. So this one is roughly a little over, this like 1.5 gallons, I want to say. This is a really huge container. I had 1 gallon of apple cores and pieces in the freezer because I eat an apple almost every day. I really love green apples. So I like to have an apple during lunch. And so I always have apples in the house. And I saved an entire gallon freezer bag full of apples. And I just plopped them in here. I added lukewarm water, a sugar mixture, and like I said, I added some of this. This is the already made apple cider vinegar that I made almost 2 years ago. And all this down here is mother that it made all on its own. And this stuff, you guys, if you've never made your own apple cider vinegar, it is so delicious. To me, it doesn't taste anything like the store-bought stuff. And if you are canning, please make sure that you don't use this because the acidity is different. To me, this tastes a little sweet. It doesn't taste like real vinegar bittery that you would get in the store. But this is my apple cider vinegar that I keep in the house. Like I said, I made this almost 2 years ago, and I'm making a new batch for my sister. And all I did again was I made a sugar water and I put my apples inside of here. And then I added a little bit of this with some of that mother. so that it can kickstart the apple cider that I'm making for my sister. And I'll probably siphon off a little bit for myself to make sure that mine stays topped up. All right, now that's what I have fermenting in my kitchen. What do you guys have fermenting in your kitchen before we move to the reason why I decided to do a live today? Was that interesting to you guys? Can you guys tell me if that's something you want to see? If you want to see me actually put a video out on how I go step by step and make these things, the apple cider vinegar and or the kombucha, just let me know and I will make a video, because this is something that I have going in the house all the time. Not the apple cider vinegar, but the kombucha. And if you're interested, I'll be more than happy to walk you guys through it. Just let me know. Good morning. Good morning. If you guys haven't hit that like button, please do so. I greatly appreciate it. Awesome sauce, Miss Wendy. Okay. The next time I'm in the kitchen making those, I'll make a point to bring the camera with me and make that video and upload it. So be on the lookout for a kombucha video and an apple cider vinegar video. Now, I don't know how soon I'll be able to get out the apple cider vinegar video. I may have to piecemeal some stuff together with what I have going on right now, but I make kombucha on a regular basis, so that one could be sent out to you guys relatively soon. Awesome sauce. Yes, be on the lookout. I'll make a point to write myself a note. Now, I'm going to give y'all a little bit of info before I get into the GingerBug. Now, on the kombucha, and I can put all this stuff in the description box if you all want to see it. But on the kombucha, this is like I said, it's a 1 gallon container of kombucha. And I put roughly 4 cups of boiling water in here with about 3 tablespoons of tea in a tea bag, and then 1 cup of sugar. And I stir it up. Well, I actually use granulated honey, but you need to use some form of sugar, not a sugar substitute, because the bacteria and all that's fermenting in here is going to eat that sugar up. Oh, I thank you. It's just something I just threw on my head. Thank you so much, Gardening and Cocktails with Joy. Thank you, thank you. I love your hats. Every time I watch your video, I'm like, oh, I should start wearing a hat. But I don't know if I have a face for a hat. I have chunky cheeks. I've always had chunky cheeks. But yeah, then I let the tea steep in the sugar water until the water become, well, actually about 5 to 7 minutes. I let it steep, and then I let the water sit and become room temperature, because you never want to put your SCOBY in a boiling hot tea mixture. And then once the sugar water and tea is room temperature, then you add your SCOBY and then you let it sit. But like I said, you all want to see an actual video, so I'll be more than happy to make that video for you guys and walk you all through it so you can actually see it. But like I said, I did write some notes down because I'm real bad about not writing things down. Because like I mentioned in previous videos, if you've watched it, my family, they didn't really have recipes. There was just a dash of this, a pinch of that, a handful of this. So I kind of learned how to do it that way. So I actually have to write some stuff down in order to talk to you guys about it. But let's see. What else do I have? Did I write down? And the apple cider, I'll tell you guys quickly on the apple cider. I usually use a gallon size bag, but for starting out, you can have either 5 large apples, any apple of your choice, or apple scraps like you see I have here. And if you're going to use apple scraps, use about 10 apples for your apple scraps. Filtered water, I use bottled water at room temperature always. I cover the apples with the water. I add 1 cup of granulated honey. You can use whatever kind of sugar you want as long as it's not a sugar substitute, because all the bacteria that's going to be eating that sugar, they need that. That's the food and the fuel to cause all the fermentation. And then you stir all that together. and you let it sit on your counter for about 3 to 4 weeks, roughly about 4 to 7 days, you'll start seeing some bubbling action, some frothing action in your apple cider vinegar. That will let you know that it's begun to get active. And you just keep watching that. You stir it once. I usually stir it twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening to keep it everything moving around. Once you start seeing that bubbling and that frothing at the top, then you know that it's becoming active. And then you let it sit for about a month, and then once that month passes, you strain those apples out. And what I do, once I strain the apples out, I let it sit in a container like this for another 3 to 4 weeks, tasting it, once a week to see if it has that right taste that I'm looking for. And once I feel like it tastes how I like it, then I call it done, y'all. And that's the apple cider. Now, I know you all came for the fermented ginger. Let me get my notes on that. Because like I said, when I get in the kitchen, I just dump it in. Now, this is an old ginger bug, and it looks disgusting because I use a different sugar. I bought some turbinado sugar, and it turned the liquid this dark, murky brown. And then I've got the ginger pieces on the bottom. So this one I am going to use. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to use it for, but I don't really care for this one, but this is my old one. And so today, and because I don't have the ability to use my mobile device to be in the kitchen with you guys, I've already pre-prepped some of this. So today, what I did was I got 2 cups of room temperature water. Now, my water is a slightly higher than room temp because I put a smidgen of warm water just to dissolve the granulated honey that I used. I used 1 tablespoon of granulated honey. And so that's what I have in here. This is just water and granulated honey. And what I did was I chopped up some fresh ginger after I just rinsed it under water. And I want to say this was about maybe 1.5 inches of ginger. And I just roughly chopped it after I rinsed it off. And so what you do is you take your water and your sugar. Remember, real sugar, guys. That could be maple sugar. That could be cane sugar. It could be turbinado sugar. It could be white sugar. It just has to be a sugar that has a caloric value. Don't use any sugar substitute. None of that stuff when you're making your fermented ginger. And then what you do once you have your water and your sugar mixture all together and your sugar is dissolved, then you take your chopped ginger and you add it to your water mixture. Just like that. And make sure that you have, oh, that ginger smells so good, y'all. Woo. Then you make sure you have a lid and you secure your lid. Now, every single day, you're going to go in the kitchen and you're going to feed this for about a week. And how you do that is every day you take about 1 teaspoon of sugar and 1/2 ounce of ginger and you add it to this mixture. And instead of warming anything up, you leave it room temperature. You can use a spoon, but what I like to do is make sure that my cap is on tight and I give it a good shake. I just shake it really good because that activates it. And you will end up hearing it fizz after about a week. And every day you take that lid off, it's going to burp. You're going to hear it burp once it's active. You make sure you burp that lid every day because you don't want to accidentally walk up on this thing and the lid pop and blow you off in the face. That's not what you want to do. And so after about a week of feeding it, it'll start to fizz and bubble. You'll start hearing a pop when you take the lid off. It'll begin to smell nice and gingery and yeasty. And that will be an active fermented ginger. Now, I call it a ginger bug because what I do is I use this liquid. Like if you have a tummy ache, a lot of people say, oh, get you some ginger ale. I use this liquid in a cup of tea, or I like carbonated water, and I'll grab me some carbonated water and I'll take the fermented water and I will use that kind of like a ginger ale. And I tell you, it makes your stomach feel so much better. My spouse, whenever his stomach is upset, he's like, "Oh, I need something. I'll grab this." And so that is how I make my fermented ginger. And it's called a ginger bug. And so you can use the ginger pieces in whatever you're cooking, um, in teas. I just use the liquid and then I leave the ginger here and I continue to feed it for about a week. Now, I'm going to make mine twice as much as this because I like to keep a lot on hand because, like I said, I use it. I make ginger tea in the evening to make sure that, your stomach is nice and healthy. It's good for the winter time. Ginger has that spiciness to it. It's good as a winter warming beverage for you. And so let's see. Like I said, that's 2 cups of water, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 1 ounce of fresh um, diced ginger. And then you feed it every day for a week. And that would be 1 teaspoon of sugar and a half an ounce of ginger. And then you shake it vigorously. And after about 5 or so days, you'll see that there's little bubbles and it's fizzy when you take the top off. Does that make sense to everybody? And I'm sorry that I couldn't give you guys like a tutorial like they do on them cooking shows because I don't have the ability to be mobile with doing a live. I have to be stationary, and my computer is here in my office, so I can't take it in the kitchen. I do apologize, guys. One day I may have the ability to go mobile, and I'll be able to do these things a little bit easier. And hopefully more like you see on TV. If that's something you're interested in. Did you guys go in your kitchen and chop up your ginger and get your water sugar solution, and make you guys a fermented ginger? Y'all got y'all ready? Yes, it's very easy to make. It's just your water, your ginger, your sugar, and shake, shake, shake. And then you leave this in a nice warm area in your kitchen, maybe on top of your refrigerator. Me, myself, my refrigerator doesn't seem to get warm up there. So what I did was I took it off of the refrigerator and I put it down by the microwave. And I keep it in a little cubby over in that area, and I wrap it up with a towel so that it stays warm enough to where it begins to ferment, because you need that warmth. Excuse me. You need that warmth in order for it to ferment. Did everybody make their ginger bug? Are you gonna make it if you haven't? I know Joy said she likes it. What about you guys? Yes. I wish my ginger actually grew for me this year, Miss Diva. I don't know if it did. If you guys have seen a couple of my videos, I think 2 videos ago, I talked about I was going to harvest some Kentucky pole beans, but that area is just completely covered by morning glories. Awesome sauce. Joy says she's going to make it and do a video. Amazing, amazing. Yes, yes, do that. It doesn't matter if we all do it, because we all have different people who watch our channel. So do it and make a video. And what I can do is, when I make my video, I can come back and show you what it looks like and sounds like when you take the top off, because this one's brand new. It doesn't have that fizz, and this one's old and it's cold, so it's been sitting out and it doesn't have that fizz when you open up the container. But you can definitely tell that it has fermented because it has that smell. And after a while, if you let it sit for long enough and you keep feeding it, what I found is this will start to smell and taste a little bit like beer. And if you've never tasted an actual beer before, you might want to get a little sippy sip, because over time, that's what this will eventually taste like as it's continuing to ferment. So use it up quickly. If not, you're gonna have yourself your homemade beer, ginger beer on your hands. But yeah, my ginger, I put it in a 17-gallon container earlier in the season, and I was so excited about it. But unfortunately for me, or maybe fortunately, because I really needed for that patio screen to get covered up because it was really hideous. The morning glories overtook that area, and that container had ginger in it and sugar cane in it. And the morning glories have taken the sugar cane and made it lay down because it's grabbed a hold of it. So I don't even know what's even in that container anymore. I didn't see any signs of ginger growing. So I'm afraid that probably my ginger did not grow. But I have ginger in the kitchen that is all crazy overgrown. It is definitely showing signs that it really needs to get into some a container and in the ground. And even though it's not the right season for ginger, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pot it up because it has really long growth points on it. And I'm probably going to leave that container in the house and maybe put it in the indoor greenhouse if there's enough room for it to kind of spread out and grow. And by the springtime, hopefully, fingers crossed, toes crossed, eyes crossed, that I will be able to put it out in the garden and perhaps it will give me some ginger. Now, I do have a question. I know, Diva, that you're growing ginger. Do you dig all of it up or do you leave some of it in your garden? Because I know you're a Texas gardener as well. I tried leaving some in the garden last year and it did not fare well. It actually rotted on me. That was my first time doing that and it didn't do well at all. Anybody else growing some ginger? You're going to try to make you some ginger bug or fermented ginger from your freshly grown ginger? Y'all have me feeling like I want to go ahead and try to make a video today, later today, with this and adding to it. I think I might do that. Okay. Diva says it's her first time growing ginger. She's going to dig it up and see what she gets and then plant some back next year. Yes. I'm going to dig mine out maybe this week because the weather has begun to change. How is the weather in y'all's area? The weather here has begun to change, and we are getting low 30s, low 40s, high 60s and 70s. I think the next 3 days we will end up having high 70s or mid 70s, and then we're going to drop down to the 30s. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm not ready. I'm so not ready. Let's see. Diva Jones says she thought she got all her turmeric up. Awesome. Oh, I like that. I have turmeric that I took out of the garden. It's in a little grow bag inside of my outdoor pop-up greenhouse. I'm gonna leave it in there and see if it can overwinter in that greenhouse. I'm really playing it like I know what I'm doing because I don't have a little heater that I can put in there, and I don't want to put a heater in there. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna put some frost blankets inside of it and try to insulate it and see if that will keep a few of those things from dying on me. Ooh, fingers crossed, y'all. I'm trying. I'm going outside of my comfort zone this year because the winter we had last year really took me by surprise. I was not expecting it, and it killed so much in my garden, and I don't want to deal with that this year. Oh wait, we got somebody popping in. Oh hey, the weekend gardening show. Hey Sam, how are you doing? I'm so glad you could join me. I was looking at your video a couple nights ago. I think your sister's garden. She has a beautiful little pop-up garden, I think on the front of her house. I saw some cars on the street. Gorgeous greens. Yeah, I'm trying to get back into the swing of things with watching videos and making videos. I've had to step back from the garden for a little while, but I'm getting back into the swing of things. All of my videos that I had in queue for me I used them up. So now I got to get out there and do some stuff. Let's see. Diva says that it's getting cooler at night. Her greenhouse is going up to, yes, that's right. You did say you had a greenhouse going up today. It's high 72, but the nights have been 50s. Oh, you know, I was born in the Midwest and I don't like cold. I don't like snow and my blood not ready for it. I've lived in Europe a total of 6, 7 years off and on. And I don't like cold. That's why I moved to Texas. I don't like cold. You said yours, Diva says hers overwintered. She didn't try to do that, but it in the spring it came up. She's talking about her turmeric. She reused the soil in other places and got turmeric growing there. So so the rhizomes was like just hanging tough. Okay. Okay. I'm going to let it ride in the outdoor greenhouse and see if I can keep everything alive in there. I can say that it is staying a little warmer. I have a little thermometer in there, and when I put the frost blanket in there, it does seem to keep it warm. But the sun is still up, and it's not cold yet. The day temperatures are nice, so it could be fooling me. Let's see. Yes, everybody's speaking to one another. Yes, please speak to one another. I love that. I don't get a chance to see a lot of people's lives, but when I do, um, I try to chat, but I don't like to chime in. I don't want to be I don't want to seem like I'm trying to be offensive in any way. But I like for people to chat. That gives me something to chime in on when I can talk to you guys when the conversation lulls a little bit. I was at work yesterday listening to a live, and then I had a meeting, and then I put my phone down. I was like, y'all messing with my live time. So I'm so bad. I have the opportunity to sit and listen while I'm at work. I'm either listening to a book or music, and sometimes if I can pull it off, I'll pull up YouTube and listen to a live or listen to a video. Try to keep up with what's going on because, like I said, I've been away a little bit, and I'm just trying to keep up. But yes, I know that Sam came in late. I hope you guys that came in, I don't want to say late. You came in when you came in. It's not late. I like when you join me. Don't matter if it's not when I came in or when other people came in. But I talked about my ginger bug and I showed the group that was here a little bit before you, Sam, how I made it. I'm gonna go over it one more time because I want to make sure that you guys, everybody, if you're interested in making it, that you do. It's really easy, it's fun, and it tastes really good. And I can attest that if you have a stomach upset, it really does work. I know I started doing it because my sister, oftentimes she probably gonna choke me out if I tell y'all, but we family, so I'm gonna tell y'all. Sometimes my sister has a lot of stomach upset. And so she is the one that says, hey, because I was visiting, she goes, let's make some stuff in the kitchen. And we ended up that weekend making ginger bug. We made sauerkraut. I don't know what else we did, but we were in the kitchen for a couple days. And the ginger bug turned out really well, and it does help with stomach upset because she told me that it made her stomach feel good. So I was glad that we were in there making it. And then when I had stomach upset once, I said, "Oh, I got that ginger bug. Let me try it." And I made a ginger tea one evening, and I can tell y'all in less than a few minutes, my stomach felt really good. And of course, my spouse, he probably gonna choke me out too, but he loved me. He'll be all right. He oftentimes has stomach upset as well. And so that's the reason why I keep the ginger bug around because it does help with stomach upset. Because, like, when you go to the store and you buy a ginger ale, look at what's in that. Now, I'm not saying don't buy ginger ale. I'm not trying to get in trouble with any of them, those stores or and companies who make sodas. I'm just saying, look what's in it. Look at how much ginger is in it and all the other stuff that's in it. You all saw me this morning. This is 2 cups of water, 1 tablespoon of sugar. Actually, I used granulated honey. I shook it up and dissolved the granulated honey, and I used roughly about an inch and a half, 2 inches of fresh ginger that I rinsed off and roughly diced up, and I shook it up. And this is all I need. I don't need the extra stuff that they put in the ginger ale at the store. And if I want some fizz like they have with the ginger ale, I go in the kitchen, I have a soda stream, and I make the fizzy water for myself. And then I add a couple of tablespoons of the actual fermented ginger, my ginger bug, and it's better than any ginger ale I have ever tasted on the market. Now, again, I'm not trying to offend nobody, but I'm telling you what works for me in my kitchen. My mom loves it, my sister loves it, me and my spouse. Whenever we have an issue, ginger ale the ginger bug is what we get. Oh, she getting that fade. Go ahead, Joy, get that fade on. I used to have that life a long time ago. Oh, I'm glad that you can sit there and listen to the live. I do the same thing. I used to have low hair. Oh, I was 24 and I decided, I know this is not about ginger, y'all, but I'm going to put this in there for a minute. Because Joy mentioned she was in a barbershop. When I was 24 years old, a lifetime ago, I decided while I was sitting in the beauty salon that I was tired of waiting because I was there on time, but the appointment that I got was pushed back. And so by the time I got in the chair, I told my stylist, cut it all off. And she thought I was crazy. I said, no, ma'am, cut it all off. I'm done. And I cut all of my hair down to they call it what, teeny weeny afro. I had a teeny afro, had her faded out. And I had that for until I was 30, 32. And then I began to let it grow out. And so I've been natural since I was 24. So get your fade, girl. Get it on. Because your hair is beautiful. Let's see. The Weekend Garden Show. Ginger is definitely a healer for the tummy. So I'm going to give your recipe a try. Yes, ma'am. Please do. I can tell you from experience that my family really loves the homemade ginger bug. Um, there is just nothing else like, because my mom, she'll go to the store and she'll buy those little mini ginger ales, and I'm like, no, ma'am. Now, mom's not in the live today. No, I don't know what mom is doing. I sent her the link to come join us, but that's okay, because if you've been in my last couple of lives, my mom Taz, she cut up, so she not with us today. She may jump in a little while later, but who knows? I don't know what mom is doing. But yes, try it. If you ever have any type of stomach upset or you like ginger tea, please try. It's really simple. Again, it's water, it's sugar, it's fresh ginger. That's it. That is it. And I did put an ingredients list in the description box of the premiere, but I will make an actual video. I'll try to do it today, and then I'll get it uploaded for you guys, because it's really simple and it tastes so good. Now, I did show you guys, if you use different kinds of sugar, you get different results. To me, this looks like absolute sludge. I can't want to put it in my mouth because it just doesn't, it's not appealing to my eyeballs. And so this one I made with turbinado sugar. It was my first time picking up turbinado sugar. And if you ever seen turbinado sugar, it looks like a brown sugar. And so that's why this one turned out so dark. But you can see all the ginger bits at the bottom. And this one's cold, so it's not active. I let this one go to sleep, because if you stop feeding it and you let it get cold, it will go to sleep. Yes, you can use this in your baking as well, Diva. Yes, you can. Yes, ma'am. I love some ginger snaps, by the way. That's one of my mom and I's favorite cookie. Ginger snaps. Yes, ma'am. Yes, you can use any other kind of cakes as well. If you're making cake and you're going to use a ginger, especially during the holiday time. Yes, this is definitely what you want to add in there to give that baking a little punch. But I like granulated honey. I use granulated honey in the house more so than any other type of sugar, because it looks like sugar, and it has like a light, as you can see, a light honeyish looking color. Yes, ginger snaps are so good. Ginger cookies are so good. I really like them, especially if they have that nice crisp snap to it when they're crunchy, like you almost gonna break your corner of your tooth. I like it like that. My husband thinks I'm nuts, but I like it. You like ginger snaps and cheddar cheese? Have I tried that? Because we eat cheese in my family. We'll sit down with some crackers and some cheese in a heartbeat. Oh, I know what you meant. I knew you meant cheddar. I got it. Greetings, Larita King. Greetings, greetings. We were talking about making a homemade fermented ginger. It's online. It'll be called a ginger bug, and it's just water, the sugar of your choice. Make sure it's real sugar, not the substitute, and fresh ginger, and let it ferment. It's good stuff. Please watch the replay if you're coming in. Because I try to break it down for you guys. Like I mentioned, for those who just came in, I don't have the ability to go live on a mobile device. So that's why I couldn't bring this in the kitchen and show it to you like the cooking channels on TV. I couldn't bring it to you like that because I'm tied, my computer is tied to being here in my bonus room. So I do apologize for that. Yes, yes. I will make a video so you guys can watch me uh make a video and do it. I think I'll try to make a video today, as a matter of fact, because I just made this today. You guys just saw me make it. The only thing that I uh already had in the jar was the water sugar solution because I'm not in the kitchen and I'm too far away from the kitchen to actually pop up and go get it. But you use filtered water, real sugar, or maple syrup. And I say real because a lot of people nowadays they're against using sugar. They use sugar substitutes, but you need the real sugar for the bacteria to feed on. You're not going to be ingesting that much of it because the bacteria is going to feed on it. Yes, please try it. My family loves it, and I can actually feel the top is trying to pop up a little bit. You can feel it raising. So it's doing a little something. And fresh ginger, oh man, it smells so good. But yeah, I talked about making the fermented ginger. I showed you guys my homemade apple cider vinegar. I don't think a few of you were here when we talked about this. I made this almost 2 years ago. This is apple cider vinegar. This is the mother that it makes at the bottom. I actually it's moving around in there because I've been moving it, and I used a little bit of it when I made this, and I'm making this for my sister. Ugh. I'm working my hand muscles today, y'all. My hand and arm muscles are getting worked out. This is a gallon's worth of apples that I kept in the freezer. It's sugar water, and I put a little bit of my homemade apple cider vinegar in it and a little bit of the mother to kickstart the ACV that I'm making for my sister. And this is about like a gallon and a half, almost almost 2 gallons. This right here. And I also have a thermometer on it because I like to make sure I know what the temperature is. And this one is sitting at 75. Can you guys see that? You want to make sure that your ferments stay warm. And this one is sitting at 75. And I also showed everybody in the room my kombucha. Had to stretch to get this one. This is my kombucha. I also make kombucha. I know that there are a couple people who popped in who didn't see it, so I'm showing it again. But this is my kombucha. This is actually my Kombucha Hotel, but you can use this starter liquid and a SCOBY to make your kombucha. So basically, this is just a sweet tea. You make a sweet tea and you add this SCOBY, that right there, in your sweet tea, and you let it ferment about 7 to 14 days, and you can drink it raw like this, or after that 7 to 14 days, you can add a flavor and let it sit for another couple days and really get a nice effervescence to it. So yes, this is the hotel that I keep my scobies in. I cleaned it out last night because I had entirely too many scobies in here, and I have a whole bunch more. I have a 2-gallon container where my kombucha is actually cooking right now, and that's in the kitchen. But this one is smaller so that I could actually show it to you here. And I also have the thermometer again because you want to make sure you know what the temperature is of the liquid inside because it needs to stay between 68 and roughly 89 in order for it to ferment at its best. Hello, 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 C. Thomas. Welcome, welcome. I'm just going over showing everybody because I wanted to make sure that I showed everyone who popped in what I was doing today. And I wanted to show you all the ferments that I have going on in the kitchen and show you all how I made my ginger bug. It feels like fall in Louisiana. Your temperatures are dropping down into the low temps as well. We're supposed to have in the low 30s sometime between now and I think Tuesday of this coming week. No, no, the thermometers are not inside of the glass. The thermometers are actually stuck to the outside of the glass. I got these on Amazon. I bought these separate because I had a bunch of jars that I would be fermenting in. But this one that I have the kombucha in, this right here was a kit that I bought almost 2 years ago. The jar, the thermometer, a little bit of the SCOBY tea, and one SCOBY came in a kit. And so I kept, of course, all of this because it was just an amazing jar. And you clean the jar, you put the thermometer on the outside, you make your sweet tea, you add your SCOBY, and you let it ferment. And you keep an eye, like I said, on the temperature. And then that's how you know that it's either warm or cold. Amazon does have everything. I probably shouldn't have said the word, but we all know where the vast majority of us go to shop. Ooh, don't say that. And you'll be able to buy people on there. Don't say it. Don't you say it. We don't want to give them any more ideas than they already have. Okay, it was good. It was good. Oh, it was good hanging out with you too. Healthy living with Wendy. Oh, you going fishing? Oh, have fun. Have fun. Use those fish guts and everything you would normally throw out in the garden. Enjoy yourself. Diva said, catch her something. She'll have the grease and cornmeal ready when you get back. All right. And of course, and I wanted to show you guys, I pulled a bunch of scobies out of my Kombucha Hotel that I've been showing y'all. And this is what the scobies look like. They are, like I mentioned before, they feel kind of rubbery. And this is just natural. This naturally grows on the top of your ferment, your SCOBY, your apple cider vinegar. This naturally grows. If you're making homemade white vinegar, or I make a citrus vinegar, I didn't think to bring that one in here, but I also make a citrus vinegar, and I have a SCOBY that grew on top of that as well. Maybe one day I'll show you guys that too. I didn't even think about that till just now. That one I use for cleaning. I don't use that to ingest. It's just a white vinegar that I turned into a citrus vinegar. But yes, this is the scobies right here, and these are going to go in the garden. I do put these when I visit my sister because she also has about maybe 5 or 6 gallons of kombucha that she's running at one given time because she has a pretty large family, and her kids really love it as well. And so she will take all of her scobies out, and she's already told me she got a bunch of them, and she'll put them aside for me so I can put them in my compost bin. So if I'm not dehydrating these and giving them to the dogs as a chew, a chew, I put them in the compost bin, or I just bury them in my pots and let them degrade that way. But these are going to be going out into the garden here soon. I have a 2-gallon kombucha going on the kitchen counter right now, and I've got a bunch of scobies in there that I need to take out. But yes, you get a mother on your apple cider vinegar, and you get a SCOBY on your kombucha. I have never gotten anything to grow on my fermented ginger, but I don't keep it long enough for anything to grow. So I've never had anything grow on it, but I'm sure it's possible. Now, that's all I have for today, guys. I know I've gone over this a number of times, but it was because so many people or a few people were popping in, and I wanted to make sure that I went over it with you all. And I'm sorry that um, I'm not in the kitchen, but like I said, I don't have that ability to actually be in the kitchen and show you step by step with chopping and washing and adding the water and adding the sugar. That I wasn't able to do because I'm my computer is not near the kitchen or in the kitchen. But I wanted to give you a sneak peek on the type of fermented ginger that I do make, the type of apple cider vinegar that I have going occasionally, and the kombucha that I have running in the kitchen on a regular. It's really good probiotics for your stomach, and I absolutely enjoy drinking it. I drink it maybe once a day, and I absolutely love it. That's all I have, unless you guys have any questions for me. Did everybody hit the thumbs up for me? Uh oh. Sorry about that, y'all. My spouse is calling. Hey, sweetie, can you hold on, please? Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. Um, yes, please watch the replay, and I will make a point to make a video of the ginger bug, and I'll be uploading that here maybe next. I'm not going to say when I'm going to upload it because I want to make sure that I give you guys some really good content. And so it may take me a couple of weeks in order to and allow this to start fermenting well so that you can see the different steps I talked about as far as the fermentation and hearing it when you take the lid off. Yeah, I know. Don't, shh, Diva. Shh. I know. Because my spouse does watch my uploads. He actually has the notification bells turned on, and he does watch my videos. Yes, he does. Yes, please. If you are in the chat or in the live today and you see a channel on here that you've never seen before, go ahead on and take a look. Pop over to their channel. Let them know that you saw them in my live. Give them some love, and vice versa. You know, if you share this with someone else, I greatly appreciate it. Yes, I'm glad that you found it interesting. I tried to make it as interesting as I can. Like I said, I'm limited on what I can bring you guys and what I can show you because I don't have the ability to go um, live with my mobile device. But maybe one day, if I'm able to go live with my mobile devices, then I'll be able to actually be in the kitchen and show you all step by step when I do take you in the kitchen because I don't take y'all to the kitchen too much. My sister said that it does. And what I can do, Diva, is I will send you a email of a trumpet flower plant that my mom has. And I told my sister to start feeding it because it was looking real poorly. And it was a tiny little plant, you know, when she got it. I want to say it might have been in a 6 to 9 inch pot. And now that big joker is in a whiskey barrel and it is at least 5 feet tall. 5 feet tall and about four, maybe 3.5, 4 feet wide. It is huge. And so my sister has been taking the scobies that she has in her kitchen and putting them in the containers in my mom's garden. And I honestly think that they're boosting the growth because of all the goodness that they're made from. You know, they pull the lactobacillus from the air, and that's how they form. And every time you make a new batch of kombucha, you get a new SCOBY. And I have roughly that many SCOBYs in my 2-gallon container right now. So I'm going to try it for myself. But my sister swears that putting the SCOBYs in the plants have increased their growth and their health because they are so healthy. And I never thought to put them actually in the container. I've been putting them in my compost bin. So, hello, it does work. Yes, similar microbes, exactly. So I'm gonna try to get out in the garden today, and exactly as the weed tea. I'm gonna try to get out in the garden today and make a video for you guys. And if I'm able to get out there a little while later on today, I'm gonna show you me burying these, and hopefully I'll be able to give you a progression as uh, the season changes from winter to spring, and hopefully what's growing in that pot will show that maybe this is definitely the way to go, is to go ahead on and use your scobies in the garden because of the microbes. But I'm going to give it a try today, if not today, tomorrow, because I do plan on getting out there. I've got some stuff I've got to do, and I have some more scobies I need to harvest. So they're going out into the garden real soon. And I'll definitely let you guys know when I go out there and make that video. If I tell you guys in the video I'm going to be placing a SCOBY in there, I'm going to keep you all abreast of the growth or not as it progresses. Because I have a couple of containers where I don't like the look of the soil. The soil is too it's too tough. It needs more, and I keep giving it um, added compost, added vermicompost, and the soil just still needs to be built up a little bit more in those containers. So that's why I was thinking about putting the scobies in there. So we'll see how it goes. But yes, I don't want to keep you guys too long. I know it looks like I've been on here a little over an hour. It has been a pleasure to come to you all today. I hope you all learned something. I'm sorry if you all came in a little bit later on and you didn't see everything that I showed you guys. I kept going back because I didn't want you all to miss out on what I talked about. And I do apologize if you heard it like 50 million times today. But I wanted to try to give you all the same information. Please watch the replay. If you found it useful, please share. If you like the content that I put out on my channel, it's different than any other's content. I'm not trying to be a DIYer in my garden. I'm just giving you guys a live and for real as to what I do in the garden. Let me turn this down a little bit. Sorry about that, guys. I just show you what I'm doing. My garden is real. All the activities that I go through are real. It's just real, y'all. It's just me. And so I hope you like it. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but I hope you enjoy what I bring. And if you do, that's great. And if not, that's fine too. Not everybody's my cup of tea, and I'm not your cup of tea. But I'm glad to bring you all what I do have. Yes, yes, yes. I had fun. And I'm going to go ahead and log off. You all have a great day. It was fun meeting up with you guys today. And I'll see you all in another video. Don't forget, hit that thumbs up and watch the replay. Bye, everybody.